Have you ever realized that after the hardest moments of your life, something inside you changed forever? As if suffering had unlocked a strength you didn't even know you had? If you've ever felt that, then this video is for you. Today, you're going to understand why chosen ones go through such intense battles, and more importantly, what hidden gifts are awakened in the midst of pain. This isn't empty theory. These are deep insights that explain what happens inside you when your world feels like it's falling apart. Throughout this video, you'll discover how to transform suffering into clarity, emotional strength, expanded perception, and real purpose. You'll begin to see your pain differently, not as punishment, but as a process of strengthening that only a few people are capable of enduring. And maybe you're feeling this right now. Do you feel like you're carrying weights no one understands? Do you feel like you're becoming quieter, more selective, but also stronger? Do you feel like your suffering is taking you somewhere, even if you don't know where yet? If any of these questions resonated with you, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll understand what is awakening inside you. And I promise, after this video, you will never look at your suffering the same way again. Before we start, comment below if you feel like you're going through a deep transformation right now. I really want to know what you're experiencing. And leave a like to support the channel, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. It helps a lot.
Being a chosen one has nothing to do with being better than anyone else. It's about carrying a sensitivity and depth that few people possess. It's someone who picks up what lies behind words, who feels the energy of a room even before understanding what's happening. Someone who sees the world differently, more broadly, and more consciously. These people usually go through intense internal processes. They can't live on the surface of things, nor pretend everything is fine when it's not. They feel pain more deeply, but they also experience transformation more profoundly. That's why they naturally distance themselves from chaotic, noisy, and empty environments. Chosen ones carry a very specific feeling, the constant sense of not fitting in. Since childhood, they notice they think differently, feel differently, and live in a level of depth that most people cannot follow. This isn't a flaw, it's a sign of inner greatness being shaped by each experience. And when these people suffer, and they usually suffer a lot, it's not because they're being punished, it's because they're being refined, awakened, and prepared for something greater. And that's what begins to activate the hidden gifts we're about to explore.
The truth is, chosen ones suffer more because they feel more. They carry the world on their shoulders even when no one notices. They have enormous emotional capacity, but often don't know how to manage that intensity. Every fall feels bigger, and every pain feels deeper. But the suffering of a chosen one is never empty. It comes as a tool of refinement, shaping the soul for something greater. Situations that seem unfair, doors that close without explanation, people who disappear without a reason. All of this is part of an awakening process. The crises you experienced were not accidental. They pulled you away from paths that were not yours, removed people who didn't align with your energy, and forced you to look inward. It hurts, but it transforms. Because only someone who has survived intense storms learns to recognize when the sky is about to shift. And there is another key point: isolation. Almost every chosen one goes through long periods of loneliness where everything seems stuck. But this loneliness is an incubator, a place where gifts begin to awaken silently. It's during this time that your vision expands, your strength grows, and your spirit becomes sharper. One of the first gifts awakened in chosen ones is heightened intuition. After going through so much pain, you begin to develop an inner radar that detects danger before it happens. It's that feeling that something isn't right, even when everything appears normal. And most of the time, you're right. This intuition doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's born from your ability to observe, feel, and recognize patterns. Chosen ones don't learn only through logic, they learn through the soul. That's why you often sense things long before others do. It's like your spirit receives information before your mind understands it. You've probably felt this. Discomfort when meeting someone, an internal warning before making a decision, or a strange feeling telling you not to insist on something. That's your intuition protecting you, guiding you, and showing you paths your rational mind wouldn't see. Over time, this gift becomes so strong that you trust it more than any external opinion. And that's when you understand. Most of your suffering came to open your inner eyes.
People who suffer deeply develop a strength that cannot be bought, taught, or borrowed. It's a strength born from chaos, pain, and silent battles no one knows about. It's that emotional resistance that allows you to keep going even when everything feels impossible. What makes this strength so unique is that it's not aggressive or loud. It's a quiet strength that stands firm even on days that you feel exhausted. You survived things that would have destroyed many people, and that made you stronger from the inside out. This strength changes the way you face challenges. Problems that once crushed you now feel smaller. People who hurt you no longer have the same power. Situations that once destroyed you now become fuel for your evolution. And the most fascinating part is that this strength makes you calmer, not harder. It gives you an internal balance that prevents you from falling apart easily. And that is one of the greatest gifts suffering gives to the chosen ones.
Chosen ones have a rare ability. They rise again. No matter how many times life breaks them, they always find a way to rebuild. This ability to reinvent themselves is one of the purest signs of suffering transformed into wisdom. Every fall taught you something about who you truly are. Every closed door forced you to explore paths you never would have chosen. And every difficult season shaped your ability to adapt, create, and transform. This is real power, and only a few people possess it. You learned how to rebuild your self-esteem when it was shattered, to believe in yourself when no one did, and to keep moving even when everything seemed lost. That is reinvention. That is spiritual strength in motion. And the more you reinvent yourself, the more you understand that nothing can truly stop you, because you learned what to do with pain. You turn it into evolution.
After so much suffering, your eyes change. You begin to see beyond the surface. People can't fool you as easily anymore. Situations become clearer, and everything starts to make sense, even when it doesn't. It's as if a part of you has awakened permanently. This expanded spiritual vision makes you seek silence, depth, and truth. You lose interest in meaningless conversations, shallow relationships, and toxic environments. You start to notice what lifts your soul and what drains your energy. This gift allows you to understand hidden lessons in situations you once only suffered from. Now you see patterns, recognize signs, and identify cycles that need to end. And that is one of the greatest forms of spiritual protection. That's why many people say, "You've changed." In reality, you simply started seeing what was always there, but your soul was not ready to notice before.
Suffering didn't make you cold, even though many people may think so. It made you more selective, more aware, and more sensitive to what truly matters. And this sensitivity is a rare gift that few know how to carry with maturity. People who have endured deep pain develop a type of empathy that cannot be taught. You understand other people's pain because you have faced your own so closely. That makes you more human, more compassionate, and more capable of comforting those who need it. At the same time, this sensitivity comes with strength. You no longer fall for illusions so easily. You don't accept crumbs, and you don't give your heart to those who don't know how to hold it. This protects you and guides you toward more authentic connections. And when you love deeply. When you help wholeheartedly. When you feel with intensity. This purity is one of the most beautiful gifts awakened by suffering.
Chosen ones often carry wisdom far beyond their age. This happens because pain accelerates maturity. You learned things too early. You lived situations that forced you to grow fast. And you faced battles that shaped your worldview. This wisdom doesn't come from what you read, it comes from what you lived. It comes from the silence you endured, the sleepless nights, the painful decisions, and everything you lost and gained along the way. These experiences created a depth that others notice even when you say nothing. People often seek your advice without knowing why. They sense that you have a different perspective, a clearer vision, and emotional maturity that few possess. This is the result of the scars you carry, scars that turned into strength. And the more you live, the more you realize this wisdom guides you. It prevents you from repeating mistakes, protects you from destructive situations, and directs you toward constant evolution.
Now that you understand these gifts, it's important to recognize that they are already in you. Nothing you lived was meaningless. Every pain gave you a piece of strength. Every fall gave you a piece of wisdom. Every silence shaped your vision. Recognizing your path is seeing that your story was never random. You are where you are today because every difficult moment molded a part of who you became. And if you look closely, you'll notice you are no longer the same person you once were. So much has changed, and it changed for the better. You became more aware, more careful, stronger, and more connected with yourself. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It was built through tears, inner battles, and silent victories. And now that you understand this, you can walk with more clarity. Suffering didn't destroy you. It awakened you.
Knowing these gifts exist is already a huge transformation, but applying them in your life is even more powerful. When you understand that your intuition is an internal compass, you begin making wiser decisions. You don't settle for just anything. You don't give your energy to just anyone. Your emotional strength allows you to face challenges with calmness. Problems that once crushed you now feel temporary. You understand that everything has purpose, and this understanding gives you emotional mastery. Your expanded vision helps you cut toxic cycles, recognize destructive patterns, and protect yourself from harmful people. This completely changes your direction, freeing you from unnecessary pain and guiding you toward healthier and more aligned relationships. And when you combine all of this, strength, intuition, sensitivity, wisdom, you become unstoppable. Not because you're perfect, but because you're aware, prepared, and awakened. If you made it this far, it's because something inside you recognizes this path. And I want you to understand something important. You didn't go through all of that for nothing. Your pain shaped something inside you that many people don't have. It strengthened you while you thought it was breaking you.
You carried storms that would have shattered others. You survived phases that felt impossible. You kept your heart in place even when the world tried to take everything from you. And today, you are stronger, more aware, and more prepared than you think. Keep walking. Keep trusting the process. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Pain shaped you, but your soul guided you here. And this is only the beginning.
Now comment below, which of these gifts do you feel the strongest inside you? I really want to read your comment. And make sure to leave a like because it helps the channel a lot. And subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this, videos that strengthen, awaken, and transform.